So, did you know Swat Kats, the Radical Squadron, the show that was on in the 90s, from 93 to 95, had a major death count? Yeah. Somebody here on YouTube decided to do a video where they counted down the many deaths that appeared on screen or happened on screen during the show. And what they found out, from what they counted down, is 162 deaths occurred. That includes deaths that potentially could happen in the future, because we know about that future episode they did, as well as in alternate dimensions, with what happened to the Dark Swat Kats. When I saw this number that they were able to figure out by counting all the on-screen deaths in the 2 seasons the show was on, it surprised me. Because I knew one of the things that drew me, along with millions of fans, to the show was how hardcore it was the fact that for a HannaBarbera show, a HannaBarbera action show, almost in the veins of something like Pirates of Dark Water, it did not hold any punches back. It did not hold any punches. I mean, it went straight on, take no prisoners, hardcore mode, when it came to the shows back then. In the early to mid 90s, honestly, that was a time where a lot of shows animated, that were broadcast in syndication and on Saturday mornings and sometimes Sunday mornings, held no punches. They went, as the old saying goes, balls to the wall with their action. They did not hold back. They wanted to get dark, they got dark. Even Sonic Sat AM got dark. So yeah, this was a time period where it's like when you saw something like Swat Kats and you saw that they were produced by HannaBarbera, you're like, what? Are you kidding? But then you got to look back at the history of HannaBarbera with some of their action shows from the 60s and 70s. And then even, like I said, recently at that time with shows like Dark Water and everything, it's like, can you honestly not act surprised that you would see something like that? To me, looking back on it, no. But this is, again, the fact that Swat Kats held back no punches, when it came to their content, that's what drew me and everybody else in. That's what drew us all in to watch that show. There was not a moment when I could watch it that I would try missing out on it because I wouldn't. When I lived on my own and I tried to figure out when it was coming on, I watched it because I loved that show. It was a great show. A lot of people might say, well, the action was good, the animation was good, that's what drew us in. The violence was surprising, the death count was surprising. The way that the designs of the cat citizens being very humanoid in a way with the facial features was kind of appealing, if you will. And honestly, when you have characters like Callie Briggs and Felina Farrell, I mean, who can blame a young guy at the time? I mean, seriously. But yeah, getting back on point here, when this guy did this video, I was surprised. I was just shocked. And I was able to find this video because I was watching a recent upload that Toy Galaxy did on Swat Kats. Toy Galaxy, I think every once in a while, every week, or whatever the case, every week, they try to talk about, certain animated shows that came on in the 80s and the 90s and might have some kind of, toy history behind it. And Swat Kats were no different. But the thing is, that's how I was able to find out about this countdown video that was done, I think, within the past year or so. I could be wrong. I got to look at the date again. But yeah, just to see that somebody took the time to watch every episode, just about every episode, and count the number of characters or number of deaths that occurred on that show, it blew my mind. 162. 162, just about. That just blew my mind. From deaths that took place in the future, presumably, if it wasn't changed in the past, deaths that took place in an alternate universe, or alternate dark versions of the heroes. I mean, it was mind-blowing. It's just mind-blowing. And here's the thing. The guys behind it, they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing, and they want to continue it. And which is why I back and support, them wanting to do SWAT Kats Revolution. They want to bring SWAT Kats back because they know there's a fan base for it still. And the one thing that made that fan base, love the show was how different it was. How different they approached things. How they weren't afraid to embrace a little bit of the violence if they had to, especially for a syndicated Saturday morning and Sunday morning show. Because like I said, at that time, the 90s, the early to mid 90s, animated shows were not holding back any punches. And I think they were doing this in defiance for what was going on politically to try to tone them down. But overall, SWAT Kats is one of those shows that I definitely believe deserves a revival. And they need to get that revival. So if you can support them, support them. And that's all I'm going to say. But yeah, in closing, to get back on the topic, the death count in SWAT Kats, unbelievable according to what this person that put this video together was able to, what's the word what I'm looking for, was able to count down, if you will, was able to figure out, number, if you will. But let me know what your thoughts are. How do you feel about SWAT Kats? How do you feel about the possible revival they could get by the original creators? And what are your thoughts on the death count that, SWAT Kats had as well? What do you think of the number? Do you think there was more that maybe they missed? The person that did the video? Comment down below. Live chat during the premiere. Like the video. Check out my Teespring store below with merchandise. And I will talk to you all later. God bless. Take care. But let me know what your thoughts are. Peace.